Hello everyone! YouTube watchers, it's your boy Danta here, and welcome to the Quickelodeon podcast. This is Triangle to Talk. I am your host, Two Turtle Dantas, and we have Christmas themed nicknames, let's call each other by that. So going down the list, we have Baubledink.
Yo, 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 YouTube watchers, Merry Christmas.
We also have Panettonio Kurtmas.
Ah, good job. Yes. Hello. Thank you for having me.
We also have a partridge in a kiwi tree.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm joined by a cat.
We have Rexmas Pudding.
I would hope to be sweet on the inside as much as the outside. Also, there's Lord Pikachu missing, but I spot my own. It's fine.
And we also have Santa Joseph, or the Ginninjuice Breadman.
Yeah, gingerbread man. Merry Christmas.
And yes, today we are here to celebrate the conclusion of Quickelodeon, which was our most recent tournament.
Yay.
Woo!
So
Yeah.
I personally think it's been a great tournament so far, but you know what? Let's jump straight into it and hear what the hosts have to say about how they thought the tournament went.
Juice, do you want to go first, or shall I?
Hey, you can go first if you want.
How do I think Nickelodeon?
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
Man, I forgot the name of our tournament.
So yeah, we're not talking about the Nick themed tournament we've done. We're talking about the entire Nickelodeon concept.
Exactly.
So
Oh, yeah.
Nickelodeon
It's
as a brand was
concept.
founded
Yeah.
by Viacom, and it's a very important.
Yeah.
Picture the scene. The year was
Tangents aside,
90s.
though, Quickelodeon
65.
Quickelodeon was great. Because it
65.
came about. Guys, come on! I'm
Sorry.
trying to bring it back. Yeah, Quickelodeon was it went really well actually, and I think it was important to me that we got the concept of having a tournament, kind of sticking by a deadline and by sort of guides rather well, because I think the community has had like a patchy history, I guess, in terms of like sort of communication not being clear, ideas not being clear, people not being aware of where we are in the process or whatever. And I think it was important to me that Quickelodeon kind of, I guess, set a standard in that regard, in terms of um getting videos edited, planned out, making sure everyone knew what they were doing, where they were meant to be and stuff. um there were some outliers, like Midnight Heart not downloading the game before the race or things like that. But some things can't be helped.
Never change Midnight Heart.
But like generally I'm happy, and I think like for myself, it gave me a good experience of hosting a speedrunning tournament, and I think it set a good standard for Square to Charge events going forward. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Fair enough. What about you, James?
Yeah, well, when it came to actually, establishing a Quickelodeon. Oh, hello.
Hello?
Hello?
A message from the Lord.
Ring a ding.
Lost
I was talking about Steam Deck.
Ring.
What's Pikachu? Are you here?
I don't know. Interesting. Someone must be rubbing a lamp to get a genie come out. So yeah, Quickelodeon. As a tournament, it all that started with just me coming up with a name for the for a speedrun tournament that's Nickelodeon themed. Yeah, and coming into the thought that I wanted to host it myself. I felt like it was going to be like a challenge, since I've never really hosted a tournament before. But like looking at all the other tournaments, especially when thinking about the last one, the thing I wanted for Quickelodeon to be was something that is well organized to the point where we are more relying on a strict schedule, more or less. so that we can try and get a tournament and going that runs relatively smoothly. But yeah, so when it came to actually doing it, I thought, yeah, I didn't have any experience doing this, so I asked Roger if he wants to co-host with me, and he said yes, and that was all ace. He was all up for it. That was great. So coming into it with two hosts for it, I really felt like it was a very big, advantageous thing, and it did well wonders for Quickelodeon as a whole. It made things go smoothly on one end of the time zone, and smoothly on the other. I felt like that really worked in its favor, and yeah, lots of people they were very well getting into the video creation. Yeah, they were really on the mark when it came to actually getting the races done. Someone and then jumping on to edit it, and then that got done, and it was like real quick, real smooth, and that's what we aim to do in the tournament from a production standpoint.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely an
And
efficient way of handling the tournament. I can say that for certain.
yeah,
We had a very nice stream of uploads going around.
yeah, that's true. We weren't really ever stuck for content, especially in like the quiet days of the Quickelodeon tournament, like when we had took a little break in November,
Yeah.
and yeah. And on the other side of things, when it came to the actual content of the tournament, where we wanted to introduce multiple games, I'm very glad that we didn't settle on any mandatory games to like say, okay, you must play this game or something. We just thought keeping it open, it really made things feel a whole lot less tense in a way, because people didn't have to feel like they had to play a specific game. They could just like play whatever they want, and it was just really a fun time seeing all these random games being played, like a Pokemon Snap ripoff, or
The Freeze Photo Frenzy or whatever it was called, yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
Freeze.
Flash games were my favorite, personally.
That's
And it
actually
was-
a good
and it was-
segue to
Yeah.
ask what everyone's favourite games in this tournament were, actually, because there were a lot of highlights. I want to know what everyone else's favourites were.
Yeah,
Rocket
well,
Power. Rocket Power, Chris and
yes.
Rodri, the best.
Oh.
That was so fun. That's my favorite
that
race
is the
of the tournament.
best video game.
Yeah. It's so bad,
Uh,
and like Roger
Oh,
is so
man.
angry, and Chris
I
is
just-
so
I couldn't-
happy.
I couldn't find where the bloody bike parts were. They were just nowhere to be seen, honestly.
Yeah,
It
legit.
felt like the object blended into the architecture of the world, and I was like, oh, I thought this was just part of the scenery, but now you're telling me it's a collectible.
Yeah.
You know,
It was crazy bad. Yeah, no, defo.
Nobody said we were playing good games this tournament.
Yeah.
it's like a green gem hiding in the grass.
oh no, I was gonna
Yeah.
say it would be like Spyro if the collectible was like the flower texture on the ground in Molten Crater or something. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I thought that was just part of the floor. What on earth?
Yeah.
It's kind of
Now
like
you're telling me it's a
kind-
collectible.
It's
Mhm.
kind of like the tulip skill point in the Reignite trilogy. like
Yes, that one.
where
Yeah.
you had to find the random tulip in Stonehill, and
Oh yes, of course,
like
the random
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's only one flower in there, but yeah, it does look like part of the scenery. And so, well, like the mushrooms from Beastmakers.
But when they make all the grass stick out with it, you're like, how's it sort of distinguishable from the grass except for the little flower
Yeah.
cut on top? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Next
that's
we'll get a
now.
video. Next we'll get a video game where you collect grass.
Exactly, that's the one we need.
Yeah.
Get working on
Um,
that mod, guys. Grass burner mod.
Kiwi, Rexy, what about you as well? What was your favourite races this tournament, like favourite games in that?
Well, based on what I've watched, I ended up facing a lot of lulls watching the GBC version of Nicktoons Racing between CJC and Marcus Ty Redford. and the absolute hilariousness of just being stuck with the most bare bones game possible, just opening up to so many hilarious comments both ways. So this had to be something for me.
It's fair enough.
I think for me, I was quite intrigued by the what's it called? Is it Sky GameStar?
Yes.
Yes, the one between
Yeah.
you and Dr. Monkey Man. That was an interesting one because I didn't even
Yes.
realize that that stuff could be emulated. So I was like, wow, that was literally the first I'd heard of it.
Yeah.
In terms of that, but
Well-
then also other games that I really loved in there were the Ren and Stimpy one, because I think that's the oldest game we've done so far on the channel, which I just found really fascinating. It was nice to have a Genesis game in there. And honestly, I'm a sucker for Search for a Reptar. So when I see the golfers in there, not just at the beginning, but at the end as well, I'm like, it's so lovely to see,
Yeah,
you know,
I was
Search for
going to.
Reptar
The
mini
golf
golf.
race is
Yeah.
probably my favorite
I
one.
was
Actually,
actually, I was
The golf
actually
one was
going to
great.
say like, I was actually going to say that that was like one of my favorite aspects of the tournament. Just you know, just a thing that started it, and then we just try and find every single way possible to bring it back.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, that was great.
Um,
Yes,
Something
absolutely.
else I liked about it as well was that like it was a bit of a seeding challenge, which I think is something definitely new in the community. I'm not sure we've like done it that way before, where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how you do in this task determines what group you're in and
Mm.
everything else.
Yeah,
And
it's a,
whatever.
Yeah, that
it's a
was
new
like
concept to this side of the community. I know that the folks over at the Wampa server and the Coliseans, like, they've done seeding challenges in the past, but not in this
Okay.
same way. Like, more like individual videos that you upload to yourself to determine the groups rather than a specific video for the tournament.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes
So
sense.
it's our own twist on it, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something I
Yeah.
really liked though. Just it's the idea of we can't rig the groups so that we can do well and get to the final because you
Mm.
know it's all dependent on how we do in the
Yeah.
tournament as well. Like,
Also,
you know,
it didn't work for you guys.
yeah, it
Rigging?
didn't
What
work
do you
for me.
mean
I ended up in a
rigging? What's
Yeah.
this thing called rigging, you know?
But like,
We
I
would
it
ended
was
up
never
in a
very.
group
rig.
with you, Rexy.
It
Like,
was a very cool way to go about it, like because it's not just people who have like pulling names from a hat or something, where you could get like a mix of skill between like you could get like a pro and then a complete newbie, and so well you all know how that race will probably go, especially if glitches are involved. But but yeah, the way we did it is like, depending how well you did at this one mini game, how well you are at not just getting it done quicker, but you know, as there was like a plan B, if there was a tie, like go by points based things. So there was like those two aspects of it, but yeah, pulled towards more the speed in the end. But by the end of it, we all got like people matched up quite well, I think. And yeah, considering the ending of the tournament, it's it was very interesting, especially when thinking back to that first preliminary challenge.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I do think everybody was very well balanced in that regard, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Plus, it was like a nice way to ease people into the tournament, not like thinking, "Oh, this race will determine if you're in the next round or not." It's not like it was just like a nice chill the start to the tournament. People just like chat, have fun with a game, and just basically have a good time.
Well, I remember there was that bit of worry at the start with some competitors because I think they thought that the seeding challenge at the start or like in the first round was going to be, oh, if we do so badly in this challenge, that's it, we're out and we won't have a chance to do any more Nickelodeon games. It's like, no,
I
nothing
know
like that
that
at all.
Dr. Monkey Man was concerned about that at one point.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
very
but
on brand for Joe.
Yeah.
I love
If
that.
Yeah.
If I remember, though, wasn't it his concern after the message where Rodri explained everything about the seeding challenge? I'm not. I feel like
Possibly.
maybe he didn't read it all completely. And so I'm just like, oh, it shows how much people pay attention to the text.
Yeah.
Every
Well, I
single
mean,
text. I mean,
he-
it was
he
a
was
long
ve-
message to be fair.
He was very happy
Well-
to find out that he wasn't going to get eliminated regardless of placement. And
Yeah, well,
a good thing,
exactly.
because one of my favourite races this tournament was the race I did with him for Sock Percent.
Oh, that was great. That was awesome. That was one of the first ones as well. That was great.
Yeah, that was the
yeah,
first
really
one of
good.
round one.
Soccer
Yeah,
Percent
yeah.
was a
Oh.
very base race, yeah.
I love that only for me joining and being like, oh, looks like I came in on time. Shut up, Mr. Krabs. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
Yes.
yeah. I just ran with that. I was like, "Oh, shut up, Rodri!" Like, he's like, "No, I didn't say that." No, like, it's so good. Yeah, that was awesome. Oh man,
Oh.
yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, there's so much good stuff.
Mm.
I like as well that, like, just as an aside, the tournament was like, it didn't have that many people in it, which is there's such a beauty in that. I think that's also why, like, you were able to just like always have that content rolling, is because you had like a small group of people who you could kind of like depend upon and trust,
Yeah.
and therefore like everyone kind of like, because it's like a close knit community of people already, having those people in the tournament therefore meant that like arranging the races was easy, and then like that's. I love that. That's one of my favorite things about it, was just the fact that it was like a smaller tournament, and that to me
Oh,
just
100%.
breeds all the more success.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it was important for like Juninduce and I that everyone who signed up were people who wanted to do it and not people that we begged to sign up to take part or
Yeah.
whatever. Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Juninduce's ceiling.
Smoke alarm, I think.
Oh, is that a smoke alarm? I thought that
I
was
don't know
like
if it's a
one of
light or a
those-
smoke alarm. I can't tell.
It's probably a
my
smoke
money's
alarm.
on light.
Rodin's ceiling.
Ooh, little sneak
Cheeky
peek of our next
promotion.
tourney. Well, not
Foreshadow.
the next
Well, the
next
next
tourney,
one.
but the tourney after the next
The
one.
next
You
tourney, there
enjoy.
will be
I made
multiple
that mistake
videos.
in the final already. So
Yeah.
what was I saying? But yeah, no, yeah, just to add to Antonio's point, that was important to us, that I think everyone joining wanted to be there and was excited to be there, and I think that helped matters as well. So
I think coming off
Yeah.
of the 99 Speedrunning Cup, like, it was also a breath of fresh air to see something that was more, I guess, condensed in a sense. Because coming
Yeah.
off of a tournament that was several months long and had more
Yeah.
people,
Mhm.
it felt nice to have a tournament that was basically just like a month and a half, 2 months, with
Yeah.
a few
Mhm.
competitors, a few exhibition
And
races in between, and it just felt like a breath of fresh air, I think.
it wasn't even a lot of time out of anyone's schedule or anything either, because you
Yeah.
know, we all did our races and did our parts and edited our bits, and it all got
I
up
just
quick.
imagine. I can just imagine us if we ever did like a tournament highlight reel or like flashback sort of video, where we have memories of the 99 SC, and then when we transition to Quickelodeon, we could just have the transition card saying 4 months later.
Like a SpongeBob reference there. Good call.
Yeah.
Hey, it would transition perfectly.
Very
Yeah.
true, very true, very
But
true.
speaking of like the idea of a highlights video, what is everyone's personal highlights from the tournament? We've spoken about like favorite races and favorite games. But any specific moments from the tournament you guys like enjoyed? Like, for example, the "Shut up, Mr. Krabs."
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah,
Yeah, Marcus making a few I don't know if I can repeat some of the stuff he said during his Nicktoons Racing GBA, but he was saying some off the wall stuff, but like it's just making me
I
laugh so
think-
hard.
One of the words started with an A, right?
Yes, yes, he said
Yes.
this game is,
And
and
actually,
I
I've
don't know if I
I've already said most of the word in setter,
Yeah.
but there we go.
Oh, that's well, yeah, that's what he said that, and yeah, it was good. And then Chris saying, what was it like? Oh, the next tournament should be Squirt the Charge, like IP Inception or something like. And that was really funny. Like that was gas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, someone else talk now because I need to actually think that there are more. And I need to think about it. So yeah,
That's
someone
fine.
else can.
Yeah,
'cause
well,
there are
Honestly,
actually loads.
a lot of Chris's one-liners were like gold this tourney as well.
Yeah.
I was
A
just
lot of
watching some of
Chris's-
them back, and I'm like, this guy's funny, man. I don't know
Yeah.
why
Oh,
that
he is.
surprised me,
He's,
but
he's brilliant. He's brilliant.
If we're talking about Chris's stuff,
Yeah.
I have to say the SpongeBob Lost in Time thing.
I was about to say that
Yeah.
because, well, I mean, mostly because Midnight Hard actually got a W in this one, but pretty much every single race that CJC had been in had just been hilarious from the offset. So
Yeah, you
not
gotta
much
love,
to say
you
about
gotta
that.
love, you gotta love hearing Chris just lose it over a game.
Yeah.
I can watch his ego, like, you know, because I'm friends with him in real life, as you all know. I can like see his ego inflating, like as we speak. You know, like literally,
His
it's,
eyes
his house isn't
widening.
gonna like contain it. You know, yeah.
So I
It's
take it his
amazing.
race with Midnight Heart was probably the worst one for his ego then.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
It
Amazing.
was great for Midnight Heart's ego though. Like, you know, honestly, who knew it just
Oh, yeah.
took one tiny win for her to just become like, you know, I'm Lord of the Universe.
I
you know?
loved watching that video for that
Oh,
exact
man.
reason, though.
Yeah. I
So-
watched that back the other day, and it's just such an interesting moment to see, with the greatest of respect, this is someone who goes from perennial loser to, oh my god, she finally gets a fucking win. And it's
Yeah.
just like, it's the biggest ego boost you've ever seen.
And it's in a SpongeBob
And it reminds
Flash
me of
game of all
every
things.
time I play Jackbox with her, because every time we play Jackbox, whenever we play Trivia Murder Party, she's like, oh, I know the answer to this. I'm going to escape here. And it's like, oh, wait, I screwed up the question. And we laugh all the time when she does that. We're like, Hannah, you've got to stop having an ego, girl.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's so good.
But
But,
you know, like,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
If I was to say like my favorite part of the tournament,
Hmm.
it's gotta be the race between Marcus and Midnight Heart. It was just like
yeah.
it was a great video, that one.
I was so glad I got to be on commentary for that one, because it was just pure insanity. And watching Hannah go do the golf for a second time, and I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, having watched the was it Hovis or Lines that she was in? I
Yeah.
can't remember, but she watching that one and going, oh, okay, not the greatest performance, but could still be improved upon. And then it's just like, well, here we go. She's going to have a second chance at it now against Marcus. And this whole time, the commentary was just. I'm trying to remember like particular moments of the top, and it's not because it's not like memorable. It's because there's too many things that were memorable in there. My brain's just like, do we talk about the Evanescence bit that we joked about? Do we talk about the RSPCA line that we talked about with the geese? And it's just there was a lot of memorable moments in there, just too funny for words.
Yeah. When it comes to that video, for me, it's like from start to finish, just like your commentary, Kiwi. It was just like absolutely awesome. Like the way you introduced in the video, how smooth you phrased the introduction, as well as the ending of the video. That was just absolutely lovely. It just felt like the video, and because of this commentary, it was like a lovely smooth symphony. Like it just flowed so well. And but like, well, I just gotta say,
His
it's like the
ego right
jokes
now.
that you. I just also got.
see it slowly. Yeah.
I just gotta
Big brain.
say as well, the jokes that everybody in sort of like, hey, specifically you, Kiwi, definitely like, oh, your goose is cut meat and all that stuff. And it was just like a very pleasurable watch, and seeing Mark's getting annoyed at the goose sounds hilarious. And but like, and a very memorable moment from that video specifically had to be when Midnight Heart was generally terrified of those clowns.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah.
She was like, get away from me, you freak. It was like really funny. So yeah, that was my favorite moment from the video, and my favorite video from the whole tournament. And that's not that video as a whole. My favorite moment from the whole tournament.
I want to second what you said, actually, Janine Juice, because I think Kiwi took a bit of a sabbatical from Square to charge for some time, and I think that was one of the few videos that I mean, I didn't race in it, I didn't edit it, and I didn't commentate in it, so it was like probably the one Quickelodeon video that I came into completely fresh. So I was sort of like a bit of a viewer for this one. And when oh, hello Teddy.
Hello, Teddy.
when I went into the video and I heard Kiwi's voice, it was like a very pleasant, like, this is familiar, this is nice, but yeah, Kiwi, you really did carry that video quite well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, that's just a roundabout way of saying I second what Juninju said. I feel I need to get a toy now.
Hang on. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to do the same. Here you go. You've got Spyro. I got Crash Bandicoot. There you are.
I have a Spyro back there, but let me just... Oh, Antonio, I feel so bad. You can't join in on this game.
I said I am recording my webcam, but I don't have any toy to.
Oh, chuck that in the VOD.
That's it.
Dan,
Oh yeah, we definitely got to put it in the VOD.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just have a empty coffee cup. That's.
Why don't you like flex
Same
your
thing,
muscle
really.
or something, or
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
get some eye candy on there.
I don't have the muscles anymore, and I haven't worked in ages. I used to, but yeah. No.
We can
Maybe we
share
can,
a coffee cup together.
Maybe
Al.
we can stitch Crystal Fisher doing the deadlift or something. I don't know. Like.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Or sleeveless shirt,
Then we
Crystal
can-
Fisher watching
Absolutely.
the video
What?
game premiere thing. Yes.
What is that?
Oh, that's a squishmallow, isn't it?
Is it Squishmallow?
Love Squishmallows.
Yeah,
I
a
was
lot of
just- I was just about to flex these, but
Fun fact: I've been playing Father Christmas at a garden centre, and a lot of kids have been asking for Squishmallows or Prime. Those are the two
Really?
big gift ideas.
Prime?
I get
Yeah, no,
Wishmallows,
literally.
but Prime?
Amazon
Yeah,
Prime.
no,
what?
they're like, I'm like, oh, so what do you want for Christmas this year? And they're like, oh, Prime, yes, but specifically the electrolyte coconut flavor or something. And I'm just like, fair enough, I'll see what I can do. But in my head, I'm thinking, of all the bloody things in the world, why an energy drink?
Yeah.
I've got Mariah Carey in my head now, going, "All I want for Christmas is a shitty drink."
All I want for Christmas is Prime.
Yeah. Crazy.
Ryan,
Like,
we love
just-
you.
Just imagine that though. Like we the kids, the state of kids these days is like, "What do you want for Christmas?" "I want a drink." Well, there's a tap. Go get some fucking water.
I can understand.
Bloody
it.
hell, you
He
sound like
said-
my grandpa, I
The
want
way
so
you said
much
that,
tea
though,
down
like-
at the pub at the local watering hole,
He
What
wants
do you
his
want for
Jack
Christmas?
Daniels.
A drink. Just the kids just there with the Jack Daniel, just like, what a year.
Oh,
It's been a hard year.
I remember back when I was 6, life was so much simpler.
I can
Oh,
understand
no
beer
long division,
or some
no
tea
fractions.
but really, energy drinks.
What was algebra? That's another one.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
we have gotten a bit off topic, but you know what?
We
It was
have.
all for a
Sorry,
good
yeah.
cause.
very much so.
What do you mean? This is a Triangle the Talk extended.
But to move on to our next point, though, we are going to a bit of spoiler territory now. So if you haven't caught up on Quickelodeon for whatever reason, pause the video, go watch
What
the
are you
grand,
doing
go
with
watch
your
like the
lives?
grand final, because in 3, 2, 1. So Rexy, you were the winner of the tournament.
Yes, I was.
So, what are your thoughts on the tournament, having gone from like the start to the end and ultimately winning the whole thing? How did you enjoy the tournament?
Well, honestly, I was hoping to end up getting to be in a more unfamiliar environment, getting to know some new people, because I felt like I've always been told to just like travel, even from doctors. I mean, this is metaphorical, not literal, but can work both ways. So, getting a chance to explore something completely fresh with mostly some fresh people. I mean, we did have Kiwi, but as you said, he ended up taking a bit of the break. It had definitely been a big boost towards morale, and I can see that you want to aim for something cozy with just a select few people, and it managed to work out well in the end for pretty much all of us. I mean, we all
Yeah.
got to end up playing something that would end up being a little memey, something out of our comfort zone, something that may be more experienced depending on the two people playing. Like I'm looking at Sock Percent, for example. And then we even had games that people had never played before. Like I remember that me and Dante specifically got TMNT Shredder's Revenge specifically
Yes.
for Quickelodeon, which was
That was a
very,
great game.
very
We
good
commit
call.
to this
Dang,
tournament.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
I didn't even realize you guys had specifically bought that for the tournament. That's
Oh yeah,
brilliant.
no, we did.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is
Yeah.
why we earned our grand final spots, because we paid for the tournament.
Pay to win! Pay to win, you
Oh,
dirty
swear to
cheaters!
charge. Corrupt big tech, you know.
This is some
Find
FIFA
their way
level
to the
scandal
final.
here.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, through
We
buying
call
the
it
game, we got the
Quickelodeon, but
deals.
we
We
may-
got the fast track
Just
to the
call them
finale.
John Higgins with the match fixing going on.
John
They got-
Higgins.
they got the
what a-
accelerators,
Wow. A
Mm.
John Higgins. I was not expecting a John Higgins reference in this thing. That's yeah, and very on point too. But
Absolutely.
yeah, good stuff, Bev. By the way,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
thought
good
you'd
stuff,
appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
We
did,
call
I
it
did.
Quickelodeon, but what we mean is we can make a quicker book.
Exactly.
The thing that was quick about Quickelodeon was the quips we had along the way. But
Yeah.
really, everything
Mhm.
was just so mellow, and everyone got to experience things in their own way. So that's the best blessing that I can end up taking out of it.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
lovely.
Very nice.
Very Christmassy way of putting it as well, you know. Blessings
Just a
and
bit, innit?
friendship,
Yeah.
Yes.
good fellows. Yeah.
And this is for you, Rexy, for winning the tournament.
Thank you.
Oh, I
Round of
thought you were going to
applause.
show off
Oh.
the artwork you made for her.
Yeah, we can do that in post, can't we?
Due time.
Well, yes, yes, very true, very true.
Don't forget to stick the belt somewhere on her screen
Yes.
as well in post.
Yes.
Yeah.
But on the note of this, though, what did everyone think of the grand final? What was everyone's thoughts on it?
Ooh, yeah.
I'll start 'cause from a hosting perspective. I woke up thinking, oh, okay, you know, it's fine. Jinin Juice has good experience hosting on Twitch and whatever. Yeah, and then I wake up to a message of, I'm so sorry, I'm so unwell. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm going to need you to do it. Man, like the panic, my goodness.
I understand. It went 0 to 100, and you needed some advice with using
Abs-
OBS and all of that.
And, like,
Yeah.
But you managed to
screaming
get it
to-
just fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly,
yeah.
all credit to Rexy and Antonio for being in the call while I worked it out.
Yeah, the real MVPs.
Oh, it was
Mm.
definitely just. It was definitely just Bev. I was just there, just cause. So yeah, I'm gonna give all credit to
always
Bev. I was
just
just
there,
there. for
just
You're a
moral
very
support.
calming presence, Al. So
Yeah.
all
Now,
I'm
to
hearing,
be fair, I did do that. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I did calm it down. Yeah. So.
all I'm hearing from this is that basically before the grand final started, you rigged it in Rexy's favour because you were grateful for her to help you out.
well, yeah,
Ah.
sure.
Like
Oh.
when it came to that moment and just before the final, when I sent that message, prior to that, I did my best to equip Rodri with all the necessary
You
things he
absolutely
needed for the
did.
live stream.
Yeah, that's what I was
so-
yeah, gonna go on to say, like, you know, credit to you. You didn't just leave me in the lurch.
No, I would never do that. I was actually
Yeah.
like, I knew that I wasn't feeling too well, and I couldn't really talk that well. So I
Yeah.
knew that was going to be a thing, so I made sure that I had it all planned out, going with the theming of
Mhm.
Quickelodeon, planning it out.
No,
But
and
yeah,
it all went by without a hitch actually as well, because of like the stuff that you sent me, Gin and Juice, and yeah, what we were able to get working and everything.
Mhm.
And yeah, honestly, I'm weirdly grateful for that experience because it did make me realize, I can do this thing that I thought I couldn't do. So it actually
mm,
pushed me out of my comfort zone. And then on the
Yeah,
topic of the final, yeah, on the topic of the final itself as well, like the race was really fun to watch because I don't think we'd ever done like a one long continuous marathon type race before.
It is definitely a new
So, yeah.
format. Something I think could
Yeah.
be good to end up having in future SSE 20s.
Yeah,
Oh, for
'cause
sure.
I just thought the
Yeah.
best of three thing had like run its course. We've done it to death, like in this server, in collisions in ISGP,
Yeah.
in any kind of thing, So that's why it was important for me to try this
That-
new format.
And best of
wouldn't- it
three
wouldn't
doesn't
have-
work too much when there's only 2 people racing.
I was about to say the
Yeah.
same thing, Danta.
Yeah,
That's
perfect.
what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking before as well. How like the third game, like if one person did like extremely well, in the first 2 games, and the third one would be pointless.
Exactly. I'll be honest, that was one of
but
my
I did
concerns
think-
with this, so I'm glad we got to play all 3.
Yeah, I did think of
Especially because we
an
needed both.
idea. I did think of an idea, but we did go with Rodri's thought of the on continuous thing, and yeah, that one worked out probably better. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I can
Even
say for
with
sure I definitely
the-
want to bring it back, the idea.
Even with
Mm,
the technical
nice.
hiccups we had with it, and if anything, that's just been a lesson to us to maybe plan like, save stating or save files or something similar, like a fail safe, if you will, for future.
Don't know what you
Yeah.
guys are talking about.
Well, to be fair, well, the
That was
SC
gas.
catchphrase, stroke model, stroke whatever is, this has been a disaster. But hey, this team actually learns to improve from disasters.
Mm.
And
Oh, yeah.
that's cool.
Exactly.
That was definitely no. It was well. It was
mean,
it was fine. Like
my
it
computer
was what it
crashed.
was,
So
Yeah,
it was
like
a
what can you
disaster.
do? Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, we,
Exactly,
we,
yeah.
we still
Yeah.
chatted and had a very pleasant call. And then
Oh yeah, for sure.
when Dante was ready
Yeah.
to resume, we just carried on with the race. So,
We
Yeah.
did, yeah.
did what
I,
we could do.
I gotta
I
say
think,
though,
oh,
I gotta say, I love that moment when Dante was going to just finish the race anyway, and then for some reason his studio tour golf game like had a timer on it.
hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that was
why is
pretty
there a
I've never
timer?
seen
Why?
that before. Yeah.
Perfect ending.
Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah, well,
ending.
Yeah,
Was it because they quit out of the bonus game at the end of the first set of golf
Yeah.
rather than just completing
But
it?
that shouldn't happen,
I
though,
don't think so.
surely.
is that a
Shouldn't.
glitch though?
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
glitch,
That
but
shouldn't
I
happen.
think it's definitely
it's
an
weird.
unloaded, yeah,
think it's a
glitch.
glitch.
So it wasn't one of those PlayStation magazine demos you get.
Mm.
But you know
Oh
what?
yeah, that's what we
Perfect
joked about on the
ending.
live broadcast at the time.
Yeah.
I think
It's
so,
like,
yeah.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah,
We thought it was like a
that's why I
timed
say.
demo. Yeah.
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 Speaking
Oh,
of
you
the
got
live
5
broadcast,
seconds, mate. You're taking too long.
Speaking
You
of
have to
the live broadcast, I just wanted to touch back on what Rodri said
Mm.
about the whole, even when the computer crashed. I think that was also something that was quite important as well. Is that we didn't do it initially, but later on, when there were games being switched, we did bring up, oh hey, we've got to have something, because the audience were understanding when we were doing the live broadcast. Of those technical issues, but at the same time we're also like, hey, we can't just have constant dead air, they need something to listen to. So eventually we put us on in the background, and I think
Yeah,
everybody was sort of just
I remember
riffing
that.
along in chat. It was a good time.
That was a good call,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah, it
honest,
was.
yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
very wise decision there,
It
Kiwi.
also
I do
brought
not
the
approve of that.
audience in on it.
Mm.
And again, it's
Yeah.
more indicative of, like, I think you've been streaming for years as well, Kiwi. So,
Since about 2020, yeah.
that's how I first found you, actually. So,
Yeah,
there
it
we
was,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. It all comes full
Yeah.
circle in the end.
It does.
I was really bummed that I couldn't be in the do the stream thing,
Yeah.
especially as after the hard work I did of putting the Twitch channel together and all the bits and bobs. Especially as I also have been streaming for a while, so it would have really helped.
Mm.
But
I remember we said
but
rest
yeah.
in peace, Gin Induce, during the race. I just
Oh
remembered.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
I got this whole image of
Now he's back as a
this,
ghost with a mask.
just like I'm like, I just got this whole image in my head that Rodri is like, oh no, Gin and Juice is out of the picture now. Oh, I can take over. It was just like some stupid thing.
It
I
was
just
cloak
thought of
and
a weird
dagger, wasn't
scenario.
it?
Yeah.
I was your Chancellor of the Exchequer, and as soon as you were sort of disgraced and brought out of office, I stepped up as Prime Minister.
Oh, that's like that's what happened with Tony Blair, right? He became leader of the Labour Party after your man, the leader of Labour before him, died.
Oh
Wasn't that-
yes,
wasn't that-
yes.
yeah. So
That's actually quite a
Yeah.
good comparison. So,
Yeah.
Gin and Juice, you were John Smith, and I
John
was Tony
Smith.
Blair.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess Dancer, that makes you Gordon. No, it makes Kiwi Gordon Brown because you did
Nice.
Jackbox Gauntlet next.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
That means Dancer, you're David Cameron.
Oh,
And Connor David.
Ah, where's the pig?
Theresa May. So there we go.
I can't tell who's worse in that regard.
I don't know what's
I feel like
going
I'm
on
Nick-
here anymore.
I feel
All
like
I
I'm
know
Nick
is I
Clegg.
have a cushy job at the UN now, apparently.
Yeah.
And I'm a war criminal. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Okay, we're going to clip that and take it out of context.
Please do. Please do.
But yeah,
And for the shorts, definitely.
but if nobody has any other thoughts about the grand final, we can move on to our next topic, which is actually a secret topic, which I haven't told any other people in the call about yet. It's not all that
Is it
interesting.
about Fanta?
Oh,
It is. We're
come
actually
on, I
going
was
on like a
hyped for it.
we're going on about a 2-hour tirade about Fanta at this point, so buckle up. No, so
I mean,
You
the
got the
clue has
orange
been in the
background ready.
background all along. He has an orange
I've
background.
got Coke. We can't do Fanta.
oh,
And I've
well,
got Pepsi, so.
disqualified.
And I got green tea.
Let me talk
And
to you
all the
about.
kids at
Let me
the
talk to you about
Sam's
Fanta.
Grotto have Prime.
I had hot
Green
chocolate
tea.
and there's
Well,
one
he's
left.
holding it, and he's like, it's like when you get Jehovah's Witnesses knock at the door. Have you heard the word about our good Lord Jesus Christ? Instead, it's have you heard the word about our good Lord Fanta?
But in all seriousness, though, our secret topic today is: what tournaments would you like to see come up next on Square to Charge?
So, can I mention some of the ones that have been sort of mooted for future, or are we wanting to keep those a bit more secret?
I'm cool with it if everyone else is cool with it.
Yeah.
If it's on the wiki, I say it's fair game.
Okay, well, the majority of these ones were listed on the wiki and were told to me that there were in the planning stages of, because I have, hang on, if I go to the wiki very quickly, just very quickly, while I do that, actually, I'd like to make a very quick announcement, very important announcement. I've just been on the Square Charge YouTube channel. We are now at 75 subscribers. Yay! If you're watching,
Yay.
go
Yeah,
subscribe
get in there.
now! We're almost at 100, so do yourself a favour and sub. Shameless promotion aside. Sorry, I'm just finding the events pages.
Oh,
Right.
let's do the Usain Bolt one.
Oh yeah,
The
there you
OG
go.
dab.
Nice. Yeah.
I
Hey,
can't. I'm holding up my iPad.
so some of the ones that we mooted.
I can make the bear do it.
You can make the bear do it. Fair enough.
Sorry, let's stop the call just to watch the bear do it. This is important.
Just gotta watch the bear. It's very important. There he goes. Look
Hey,
at
there we
him go.
And he's even wearing
Man.
London 2012.
Oh, even better. Perfect representation. So yeah, looking at the wiki, we have ones we've talked about in the future. So that these ones don't officially have dates after Picks Up Panic, because Picks Up Panic is February. Am I right? in saying?
February-ish. No set
February-ish.
confirmed date yet.
No, yeah.
Keep an eye out for sign-ups if you're interested in joining.
Good shout. Good shout.
You might put something in the description, maybe. You know.
Indeed.
Wink, munch, saying them all.
So the ones we talked about were, I think, Sega Sprint was mentioned.
That was mentioned,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah. Lego League.
Yeah, boys.
That's
Oh,
what
nice,
I'm very
nice.
interested in.
So
Nice.
what's going to be happening in Lego League?
Lego Racers.
That's the one.
Even Lucas is
Um,
excited about it.
Yeah.
What was the other ones? Nintendash.
Yes, I want that to
Ooh,
happen at some
yes.
point.
We definitely need that one to happen, considering the influx of Nintendo that we've been doing. And there was one that I mooted as well, which was a sort of spin-off to Quickelodeon in a sort of roundabout way, except using BBC television properties instead of Nickelodeon, which I think is going to massively open the door in terms of like games that we can do. Because there was a whole list at one point that I made of BBC games. If I can briefly find it, it's on the old group chat. Well, I'll just have a quick grab here to see if I can find it. But it was this massive ass list, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that we have this many games available to us.
I remember EastEnders was one of them.
Yeah, no, EastEnders was somehow a game. I don't know how and when
If-
it became a game. Oh, here we
If
go. So-
Coronation Street somehow had a game, then so could EastEnders.
oh yeah, but this is EastEnders had this game, and it was a ZX Spectrum game. So it was like 88 that it came out. I could be wrong on that.
Wow.
So the BBC properties that I managed to track down that had games were Doctor Who, of course, Robot Wars. Chris will be happy with that. Little Britain, which may or may not have appeared on the channel by the time that this has gone up. Bob the Builder, yeah.
Perfect,
Tweenies,
I mean
I
it.
remember that one. And that one.
Teletubbies.
Yeah.
And that one.
There was a Noddy game that I seem to remember as
That was a
well.
naughty
Wow.
game. I loved
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
If the Noddy one is off on the GBC, I had that one.
I'm thinking the one I'm remembering was on PS1, although I seem to remember a GBC one as well.
Wow.
Yes, there was Pingu as well. Formula One, technically, up to
Wow.
and including the 1960s, and then again from 2009 to 2014. Wallace and Gromit technically airs on BBC, so that would be something we could look at allowing. And then in terms of like, yeah, no, not Curse the Were Rabbit, because that's a film, like a theatrical
true.
film.
yeah,
Whereas
we're gonna
if
watch the film as part of the race.
we'll watch the film as part of the race. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I found that
one of the
I remembered
stipulations.
at one point that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was something that aired on BBC, and I'm like, well, hey, that's got video games, so. And it was quite popular in the
Oh,
UK
yeah.
at
In
the
there.
time, so why not?
Yeah.
There was apparently a Peaky Blinders video game at one point.
What?
Yeah, no
What's
kidding.
that?
Blinders.
Yeah,
What was
the
that
young
for?
ones had a video game, if you can believe that.
Because
I-
of course they did.
Yeah, I can't
All
believe
I'm
that
hearing is there's
myself.
a lot of potential for this tournament.
And the
Yeah.
last two are so much just weirder than that. Monty Python's Flying Circus had a video game. And then, of course, this technically counts as a BBC property because it is partially owned by the BBC now, is fucking Bluey. And I watched a friend of mine play that. Oh, it's Hazardous Sloth, who was supposed to be in the Jackbox Gauntlet, but she had to drop out due to illness. She streamed that about maybe a week or two prior to Gauntlet, and as she said to me, she said, it's the quickest video game I've ever played. And I said, well, how long did it take? And she's like, about 2-3 hours to complete it entirely. And I'm like, you know what? That could make, an interesting little tournament piece, could make an interesting little versus even.
But
but yeah, so there was that.
I've actually played a game that is even shorter than that. And that
really?
is Happy Feet on the DS. And that game
Oh,
is
God, yes!
that game is literally
Yeah.
2 mini games over and over, and they get a little bit harder as they go on as well, if I remember. I got it once for Christmas, and I beat it in 30 minutes.
Jeez.
Well,
Like
so
that.
next versus series confirmed.
There was
I think the Cars DS game, the Pixar Cars DS game, is even quicker than that from memory, because I think you can
Really?
complete that in about 20 minutes, roughly.
I think there was the Little Mermaid 2 game that I think it wasn't on our channel, but it was on the Collision's channel, like way back in the day.
Huh.
And that
Disney
entire
Dash.
game was raced in Disney Dash.
Yes, I remember this race.
Have you heard of that, Tawny Dancer?
Vaguely, yeah.
You know, I heard the hosts were very handsome and charming, and yeah.
I'm
There's
just
this-
looking at Dante's face when he
there was
hears
this-
the words Disney Dash. It's like a
Like-
Vietnam veteran, like.
That bit's like,
I don't want to talk about it.
Some folks are
Yeah.
born
It's
raised to
just
wave
like
the
images
flag.
of World War II and
Yeah.
Duck,
Bit-
get down. Yeah.
I was
Get
thinking
down,
Vietnam,
get
bit of
down.
Creedence Clearwater Revival on in the background, Fortunate Son, just as he's thinking back to Disney
Just
Dash. It's like,
every war
oh,
ever, why not?
no. War never changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
The other one I just want to quickly mention before I hand over, and this one does definitely intrigue me, is and it's officially listed on the wiki, so I'll mention it now. is what's his name? Joe, with his 2003 tournament.
Yes.
That one is going to be fascinating to look at, because I think we've talked about this a couple of times on the channel, but for those who haven't seen that particular conversation, we'll mention it here, is that I realized at one point that that's such a perfect turning point to go for the next one, because I know Connor wanted to do a 98 one, but 2003 is such a fascinating time in gaming, because you've got the PS2, the Xbox, the GameCube, they're all out. The GBA, all of those are out by this point. But you've still got games coming in from PS1. Somehow that thing is still just clutching on. GBC had their last games on 2003. So that is it's going to be a wild year.
GBA as well, actually.
Yes, so
yeah,
many
no, I meant
options.
GBA, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I wasn't listening. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm used to it.
I have actually a suggestion for the 2003 tournament, because there is a PS1 game I know. It was only released in Europe in 2003 on the PlayStation 1, and it's called the Jinx. And hardly anybody knows this game.
Was that
This is a platformer?
That can't have been 2003.
I'm sure it's 2003.
Yeah, Crystal Fisher did an LP of that Jinx, platformer. Yeah, he played
Yes,
that.
I think I watched that series.
Yeah,
I did too.
He never finished it, to be honest, but I hope, but I'm in hope that he will finish it. Like, he will go back to it one day.
2003.
Yeah.
And basically, if you want to know about it, I don't want to take too much time, but so I'll just say for now, it's a 3D platformer, and knowing me, I know about the platforms, and you just play as like a jester, and I can't remember, like, I haven't played it for like years since I rented it from Blockbuster, if you'll remember that.
Wow.
Back in my day, we had Blockbuster.
So
You're all very old.
But yeah, so I don't remember the actual main plot line, but main thing is you're a jester, you get to do magic, you go through a nice set of medieval themed worlds, and there's even like Egyptian worlds and stuff.
Yes, Egyptian. There was like I think underwater as well, and sort of like horror.
Yeah,
and
there are
worlds as well. Yeah. It was a weird game. I never actually fully played it myself. I only ever played it on a PS1 demo disc that came from fucking McDonald's, of all things. The old big bag promotions in like 2002, 2003. And I played those discs on a stream, but yeah, that game is just
good.
wild.
You know a game is good when it comes in with McDonald's.
That's true.
But no, seriously, I like the game, and I did get stuck on it, so I never finished it because I got annoyed at the platforming. But yeah, I think it's a cool game, and I think it'll be nice to have in that tournament.
There's another game I'm wondering now if that came out in 2003. I'm just going to quickly Google it, because I have a funny feeling it didn't, but I'm just going to quickly check. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. There was another game from that McDonald's demo disc that I was just thinking about, called Alfred Chicken. And where's he off to?
Alfred Chicken? What?
This isn't the part where he just shows up in one of our backgrounds, is it?
He's off. As soon as you mention chicken, he's off.
Alfred Chicken, but yes. So it was apparently 2002, but I played, like I said, I was playing these McDonald's PS1 demo discs for a stream one time, and let's just say I played Alfred Chicken. I was trying to beat this one particular level, and I was playing it for so long. People were turning around to me and going, "Can we move to the next game on the fucking disc? We're sick of seeing this chicken." They really did not like the game. They were like, "When did this game come out?" And I'm like, 2002. They're like, "This thing is shit. We need to find something else to play." Although I think the worst game on any of those discs was Formula One Arcade, of all bloody things, because
Wow.
as soon as you try and hit the accelerator in that game, the demo ends. No shit.
Perfect.
Either that, or I've just got a very faulty disc. So I'll have to download emulated copies sometime and maybe try it again.
I've gone through some faulty PS1 demos before, but that?
It's weird. The other one I'll just mention while Rodri's out of the room, tournament wise. So I wanted to do a Pokemon sort of goal oriented tournament, sort of like
Yes.
Johnny gave me ideas where you like race to a certain point, or you've got to do certain objectives. Johnny gave me a whole list of them, and I thought it could be a really cool idea. But then the other day, it was mentioned to me by actually no, I probably shouldn't say this because it's not on the wiki, but he should I mention it or no?
Leave a few
It's
things
not
in
from somebody.
suspense.
Okay, yeah,
That's not-
we won't mention it. Let's just say somebody has come forward to me and mentioned there is a tournament that they want to do that may tie into that. I won't specify how, but they have mentioned to me that is an idea that they want to do.
Claus is back.
And Roderick Claus is back. I won't.
Horrible thing.
Yeah, I won't for now mention what the tournament is, but because it hasn't been officially put on the wiki and it hasn't been revealed by said person, but let's just say it sort of ties into that one. So it's something I'm aware of that's in the pipeline, which you guys actually, I presume, at this point have not been aware of. So there you go. There's a little bit of a sneak tease coming from me.
Interesting.
World first insider knowledge. There you go.
Ooh, okay.
Mm.
I don't think you're nearly going to be as excited by what it actually is, Roger.
That'll be interesting.
It's one of those things of like, are you keeping it a secret, or did I walk in just after you revealed it? So everyone
No,
else
No, you
knows
did
about
after you revealed it.
I was going to reveal it. It's a tournament idea that was presented to me, and this person asked me, "Hey, where can I present this?" And I told them where to put it in the Square to Charge hosting on the server, and they haven't done it yet. In fact, I'm going to ask them if they still plan on doing it.
I know who the
But-
person is because I saw you add their name to the thing. but-
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have, and I was going to mention it, but the tournament is not listed on the wiki, so we're going to keep it in suspense. But I mentioned
Nice.
about Victory Road, which is a Pokemon tournament that me and I had a couple ideas for, and Janny had some ideas for. And let's just say this person's tournament sort of loosely connects to that in a way. I won't go into
The
detail,
Digimon
but
tourney.
yeah. Yes, it's a Digimon tournament.
Ooh,
No, it's actually a Bakugan tournament. There you go.
Well,
There's
perfect.
a
Beyblade tournament. That's what we need to
Yokai
do.
Watch.
Oh,
Anybody
I mean,
remember
Yes.
that one?
what if we just
terms
did
of
all of them at once?
Go-Go's, Crazy Bones.
If we're talking Zelda lexicon,
Pogs.
What's that, Rexy?
if we're talking Zelda lexicon, it's a secret to everybody.
Yeah, there we go.
Actually, that's a point. A Zelda tournament would be nice to see.
I have not
Nice.
played much Zelda. I will be
Oh.
honest.
Also, a Portal tournament called "This Tournament Is a Lie."
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
On
you
that
make
note,
a
though,
nice little versus. This
Ooh.
versus is a lie. Yeah.
Rexy
Yeah.
and
It would be
Antonio,
funny
do you
if it
guys
was
have
like
any
title
ideas
of the
for
video.
possible tournaments to do?
It would
You
be
know
fun.
what,
It would
really-
be-
Lego was the big one, and that was mentioned, and I'm so glad that that is a thing. So yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome. So I'm satiated, I'm good. So
I'm all for throwing myself in for the Sega Sprint, and Kiwi knows my connection so well to Sega. So
Yeah.
I
this
do,
has
yeah.
to, this has to work out so much.
Oh, I'd expect big things from like you and maybe Lucas from that tournament as well.
Sure.
And actually, with all the Sega remakes we have coming out, because I think there was like a trailer at the Game Awards
Yes.
about it.
It was,
They
yeah.
announced like 5 or
literally
6.
Like 5 or 6 franchises from Sega are making a
It
comeback.
was like Streets of Rage, Jet Set Radio, Future, Golden Axe, I think was one of
Crazy
them.
Taxi.
Crazy Taxi, that was the one I was super high. I love Crazy Taxi, man.
Yeah.
And then we had
there was a whole
Shinobi.
other one. And Shinobi, that's right, Shinobi, yeah. That's the
Which is
one.
funny because I
Yeah.
was streaming Wonder Boy 3 the other day, and I had a comment that was like, "Why you compare the greatness of Wonder Boy to freaking Shinobi?" Well, but it be
Well,
what it be.
you
I'm sitting
dreamed
here
that.
like,
That's cool.
where's
Huh.
where's the announcement of my Echo the Dolphin remake?
I
I've
know they
never
had a
even really
failed
liked
Yeah.
Echo the Dolphin.
Where's Echo the
I just-
Dolphin?
Yeah.
I know it had a failed
Well,
Kickstarter.
we got an Alex Kidd remake recently, didn't we? Actually,
Yeah.
So there's a chance.
I was about to
Echo.
say, where's Alex Kidd? And I'm remembering, no, I've actually got it on my PC and I've never played it.
Mm. Was Rystar one of them?
Echo Race
No.
would actually be hilarious because those games are considered to be extremely cerebral and difficult. So seeing two newbies being thrown into the fray would pretty much hit the motto of "this has been a disaster" right on the nose.
Yeah.
Just a quick note regarding Sega Sprint. Who's actually hosting that? Because it's something I've got on
who
the
knows
wiki,
at
but I
this
don't
point?
actually have a host listed. So
It was one that I put forward. So I think the two big ones I put forward were Lego League and Sega Sprint.
right, okay. So you're
So I
saying
think-
you'd host the Lego, so the Sega Sprint, or
Yes, and Rexy, if you wanted in on hosting, you could join me in that regard.
because I remember with Lego with you, because I said that I would happily co-host that with you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Hmm.
No,
I am all for
just making sure I had said that because I had noticed it on the wiki. I'm like, I had
And
told
you can
that,
still
hadn't I?
join in the Lego if you want to host it as well.
Oh, by all means, I would love to.
Yes.
I am all for throwing myself
I have
in.
a very
Sega
fun
Sprint
idea
together.
for like Lego League's visual style, but I'll
Mm,
probably organize a group call with you two at some point.
yeah,
If
sounds
I'm
fun.
pointing at you guys, I am
You
on
are,
my
yes.
Yes, you are pointing
Yes,
at me at your screen. Yeah, it
Okay,
works
nice.
perfectly.
Yeah,
Right,
at some
on my
point we'll have a
screen.
group call and discuss it. Hello.
On my screen, Bowling was just like pointing to Danta and then just nothing. It was the edge of my iPad.
I was pointing into the
Ah.
abyss.
What am I pointing at now?
Orexy.
You're pointing at gin and
Okay.
juice for me, so this works out visually.
Yeah, there we go. Nice. And that's my water bowl.
That's
That's
me.
Danta.
Antonio,
The,
and that's Rex.
See,
Tubb.
that's
Yep, you
I've-
flipped
that's
it
my
around.
bed.
I've got Rodri to the left of me, nobody to the right, and here I am, not
Stuck
in the
in the
middle.
middle with you.
Hey, somebody got what I was going
Hey.
for. No, but Dante's on my far left, and then it's in order, Rexy, Joseph, and then Antonio.
Yeah.
Isn't it fun how it's so different for everyone? Like,
Oh yeah,
know,
it's so
it's-
weird.
There's no
Yeah.
consistency with Discord.
There is no consistency. I've
But the
got
best part is, whatever I see is the correct one, because that's what's going in the video.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I'm fourth in line if we're going
But
with
yeah.
that. Mm.
But yeah, if you want to hear something, like if you want to know what I'm thinking about tournaments, what tournaments I'm
Mhm.
thinking would be in the square to charge is a library. I actually have a few ideas. One of them, this one is a joke, but it would be funny if there was like a tournament where it's just called "There is no tournament."
I'm
And we
intrigued.
play things,
Explain.
and I don't know, we just like do it in a certain way. And
There
But,
is no
like,
tournament,
one
we're just
game-
playing cards.
but like one game, like just like a nonsensical tournament. But one game that comes to mind that you could do for it is a game called "There Is No Game," and that is the actual title of the game.
always.
Oh, sorry, I've just
Yeah,
remembered.
Kiwi knows
Remember-
what I'm talking about.
There is another tournament that I am privy to, and I might as well mention it here because it's going to be mentioned on Supercharge, which may or may not have aired by the time this has gone up anyway. So I'll mention this on behalf of Chris. He would love to do a Flash game tournament,
Yes.
There we go.
and I think that
Flash
we were
Frenzy.
talking about it, and there was a lot of games that we wanted to see on there. I think Tank Wars was one of them. Raft Wars, for those who are familiar with Raft Wars, I bloody loved Raft Wars as a kid.
We're gonna have WAP.
Quap, yes, Quap is definitely one he said he
Nice.
wanted to do. He loves Quap. And I
Oh.
think we did discuss maybe On the Run, the mini clip game On the Run, for
Oh,
those of you who remember
nice.
that. I don't know if he said that was one we would actually do, but yeah.
There's some ideas for games I'd want in that, but yeah, go on, Gin and Juice. Sorry.
One thing that you could name the Flash tournament Flash Forward.
Ooh, okay.
Or could even be flashback, but I don't know.
Chris, if you're watching,
Flashback is another good
might have a name. Flashback.
Or
Oh,
flashback.
Yeah.
So you may
I
be onto something
mean,
here.
flashback though. It's like going like
It
reversing.
is, but it makes sense though because of how Flash is now officially an outdated medium because it's no longer being supported by most web browsers. So
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
No, I was gonna say
Uh,
3 games I'd want to see on it are what is it? Polar Rescue, the world's hardest game, and a game called Bat and Mouse. Those would be like sort of my 3 things to add to the
Polar
pile.
Rescue sounds so familiar. Why is that? What did you do in it?
It's you're playing as a penguin. You have like
Mhm.
sort of this like Ghostbusters type thing, but it's like a snowball shooter, and you're just going through this platforming obstacle thing,
Mm.
and you're occasionally killing enemies and stuff. And then you get to like the first phase boss, which is like a polar bear, and you're trying to kill it, and it's like sort of walking away. Then you land on the ground, and it runs towards you. You shoot a bit of your snowballs, you come back up, and whatever. And then the final phase,
Ah,
go up against Cthulhu or something. And
that
it's just
Perfect.
like
sounds
laser
yeah.
beam.
Well, sounds fun.
That, that
That
does
does
sound
sound fun.
familiar. Like I may have played that. Also, I just realized there's
For me,
another
that's
game.
what I think when I think Flash game. Like,
Hmm. There is
Um,
another game that I just thought of, but I'm like, is it? I don't know if you guys count it as a Flash game. It's certainly a browser-based game, and I played it the other day because I was so curious. I was like, is this still up? Is Happy Wheels, does that count as a Flash
I
game?
got Happy Wheels. I
yeah,
would say that counts.
yeah,
Because I'd
absolutely.
love to see that in there. I had so much fun revisiting that the other day. I hadn't played it since I was like maybe 10 years ago, so it'd be like I don't know how old I was, 10 to 16 roughly, yeah.
Oh, there was a Sonic Flash game. I think it was called Flash Sonic actually.
Ultimate
Mm.
Sonic Flash game or something?
Oh, Ultimate Sonic Flash, yeah, or something like that. But yeah, no, I think I'd love to see that.
I
It'll
think
definitely
there,
make
about
a appearance in Sega Sprint, but
I
yeah.
think there are a few Kaizo Mario games that have had Flash incarnations, which would be even
Kaizo.
more
mm,
sense of
Yeah.
disorganized chaos.
I
What
think
about
the
that
only thing
game?
that Chris said is that he wants to set certain limits on what kind of Flash games that we have in this, so we're not just having Flash games that are just pure bollocks that nobody's like ever heard of,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
you know,
So
that's
I
fair.
think he said he wanted to have like a list of maybe, I think he said about 30, maybe 40. So I think that would be a fair
So,
balance. To go for.
Rodri, we'll be having our
Yeah.
rematch in those Dora games, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
What about that game? Like, I think it should count as a Flash game. What's it called? It's like in the hardest game or something.
The what?
You know
Sorry?
that hardest
Sounds-
game ever thing. And
Yeah,
that
the
the one where
world's
you're
hardest
controlling the
game. I
cube?
mentioned
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. There's also
didn't
its
hear that.
spin-off or its cousin, the world's easiest game. Which is basically
Yeah.
someone copied and pasted the game but took out all of the enemies and obstacles.
How about the Impossible Quiz?
Ooh, I remember the
Oh,
Impossible
yes.
Quiz.
See, this is what I mean. Like, I feel in
Remember
order
that
to
one.
do that format justice, we'd have to like think, what are Flash games everyone knows, all have heard
Yeah.
of, like
Yeah.
So like your Happy Wheels, your Raft Wars, your On the Runs.
Yeah, exactly. Just stuff that people generally know, and maybe some lesser known ones, but still not completely unknown. That kind of thing. And then,
Yeah.
of course,
Like
all
not
the Dora
not
games,
ones that
'cause
have
they're
been
all
made in 10 minutes by some bloke in his basement 20 years ago.
Well, we've been hyping this up so much, I'm now really looking forward to this tournament I didn't know existed 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris, get onto it, mate.
Before we move on, though, I would like to just say that, like, I was thinking that I was saying to Kiwi before that would be cool at some point, especially if we could time it well. For, like, I don't know, whatever year it would be. It would be like a Christmas rush tournament where we just play a bunch of like Christmas games, and most of them are terrible. But that's what would make it fun. Like you could
There's
get
a
like your
charm about
Santa
bad
Saves
games.
the Earth,
Oh, I like Santa Saves the
Yeah.
Earth though.
Or like, there's even like indie games these days, like maybe those itch.io games. There's lots of Christmas things up there, so people can go there if they want.
Get the
Yeah.
Grinch.
And the only limitation will be is that it just has to be Christmas.
The possibilities
I
are
don't know.
endless.
If there was a Die Hard game, and if Christmas is in it, then why not?
There is
Okay.
Die Hard trilogy. I'm trying to think if it actually features any Christmas aspect in the Nakatomi level.
But
I don't
It
remember.
it does.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Theoretically,
does.
would Kingdom Hearts count if you do the Nightmare Before Christmas world?
Ooh.
Maybe Kingdom Hearts 2, because Kingdom Hearts 1
Yeah.
doesn't have any Christmas signs in it.
Absolutely right.
but
I can confirm this.
Spyro
It's
2
all...
could count if you do Winter Tundra.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can confirm with
Or
Kingdom
like-
Hearts 1, it's just events before the film, so Christmas Land in their heads did not exist.
That's fair.
But like,
Could we count
what Rod-
Reignited Spyro 2 if you do the Autumn Plains Winter Christmas mod?
That's what I was just going to say, actually, Keely. Going off Rod. But yeah, the other tournament idea that I had as well was like just anime tournament,
Yes.
and like looking at Rodri's t-shirt, it reminded me. Not
Super Honey
t-shirt,
Pop League.
jumper.
It's time to Yule! Yule!
Nice. But yeah, I could just imagine this like even newbies figuring out how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. It would be like funny.
So,
Oh,
I know
Yu-Gi-Oh!
you.
Forbidden Memories.
Mm,
Do you remember that
Ooh.
PS1 game?
Yeah, Forbidden Memories.
I've
I haven't
watched
played
it.
it,
I never
but
played it. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
no,
apparently
you
it's the
need to
worst.
play
The one I'm
No,
familiar
it's the
with.
best game ever.
Apparently, it's the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
worst
game I
game
was-
to speedrun.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
because
I've seen
like
two lads speedrun it. It takes ages and ages and ages. It's like hours and hours. So like,
it's because like there's some form of luck in it, depending what the AI does.
yep,
Um,
that's right.
but yeah, games that I know about when it comes to like things like Yu-Gi-Oh is like Nightmare Troubadour on the DS. That was a good one. Or you even have like these days Master Duel, which is like just a dueling application you can use, and it's quite good. But I could just like imagine like a race where a part of the race is making a simple deck and then try and beat, I don't know, X number of AI or whatever, I don't know, or people, whatever. Well, that could be like a nice preliminary round, actually. Just somebody people making a Yu-Gi-Oh deck and just dueling each other. That would be fun.
Just to
That'd be cool.
quickly touch on Master Duel.
Mm.
When was the last time you played that?
Oh, yesterday.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Because I remember talking to you about it, and I remember the reason I didn't go back to it was because I streamed it the day after Yu-Gi-Oh's creator Kazuki Takahashi died as like a tribute stream,
Rest in power.
and the
in peace.
game was glitchy as hell. So I don't know if it was
Glitchy?
just
What do you mean glitchy?
I like the server was like buggy, laggy. So I was just wondering if maybe that's been fixed.
I haven't really tested the online recently.
See,
But
I was doing online matches. That was my thing. Yeah.
but yeah. To be honest, I think it was. I think when I played it last, I didn't really have any problems with it. Some people naturally it would depend on the internet connection of both people, but
Yeah.
apart from that, no, it's pretty straightforward. But like in terms of like a race video, like you could just do the solo mode, like get through 3 episodes or something, 3 tutorials or whatever.
Yeah.
You can just do stuff like that.
Because I
If you want to
just
include
remember
Master
playing
Duel.
the online and it was buggy as hell. So like, because I switched midway through midstream to the Yu-Gi-Oh game that I played as a kid, which was the one on the Game Boy Advance. What the hell was that called? Seven Trials to Glory. I love that one, and it's the 2005 like championship like what's the word I'm looking for, like legality sort of thing. So like you have a system where the game week to week changes what cards are banned and what cards are permitted. It's actually quite clever in that sense.
Wow,
But it also features the characters from the show and I'm fairly sure it's the only Yu-Gi-Oh game that actually lets you go to the Shadow Realm.
Oh,
Oh,
no, that'll be
Yeah,
interesting
that's
to see. I
interesting.
haven't actually played that one.
So it's quite an
Um,
interesting one. But just
Yeah.
touching back upon the idea of an anime tournament, so not just Yu-Gi-Oh, this would be
Yeah,
anime
not
of
just
any.
Yu-Gi-Oh. As long as the game is in the anime style, it would count.
Right, Honey
Nino
Pop Race.
Kuni. Nino Kuni. Let's go. Let's
Okay,
go,
we
let's
thought
go.
two very different things.
I
Okay.
think.
I
But,
thought
like,
a good
it
game.
depends-
Is
it
there an
depends-
Urusei Yatsura game?
But it depends on, like, whoever wants to host this sort of thing. But, like, it depends on which way you want. It could either go two ways. One is like the one I just said. If it's in an anime style, it counts. Or two, if it has an anime on, like, that has aired on TV, then you could do either of those. But, like, to be honest, I think as long as it's in anime style, it's called like anime tournament or whatever it's called, then I think that
I've
should
got
be
it.
fine.
I've got it.
Animania.
Anybody who faces me, prepare to just be facing me at initial D video games. That's it.
Nice.
Gas,
But, like-
gas, gas. You gotta step on
But
the
like
gas.
other games, other games like BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, they could count as well.
Persona.
Fire
Or
Emblem.
like there's lots of Dragon Ball, there's One Piece, and
Spyro
stuff like
Japanese.
that. Spyro
Mm,
Japanese. I
say
mean,
it
I don't
counts?
know if that really counts because that's just a picture. And the
Hey,
game
it's
is
got
no different.
Japanese in it.
Have you seen the
However-
art style?
Animes are
However-
Japanese. Case
However,
closed.
would this count? The Japanese version of Crash Tag Team Racing, because his model is changed to the Japanese version.
Well,
Found it.
Crash's model did change, but neither did everybody else, so I don't think that would
No.
Crash Bash, however.
actually
count
make.
that.
Bash. Yeah.
What's Crash
that-
Bash?
maybe.
Do you mean Crash Bandicoot Carnival?
Yeah.
Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot.
I say
Crash
you
Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot Carnival, and I will raise you with Crash Boom Bang.
I don't think. I know that doesn't really count. I'm not
Okay,
saying that because it's a
tournament's
bad game,
cancelled.
but
I played
I'm just-
that the first time ever in lockdown, and I absolutely hated that game.
yeah. But like anyway, the game wouldn't really count because it's not really anime style. It's just weird.
Can I ask if we would be allowed to play the Kid Station Japanese exclusive version of the Thomas the Tank Engine game?
Oh, please,
Please.
please, please.
I mean, if we're going actually, when we're considering what anime means in Japanese, if we're going by that rule, then yes, it would count. Because
Thomas the Tank Engine is an
anime-
anime. You heard it first.
Wait, would Cory in the house
Anime-
be allowed?
no, that'll be the meme one. Like, yeah. But yeah, like, when it comes to anime as a word in Japanese, it just refers to all animation. It doesn't mean specifically the Japanese animation, because I have experience in this because in my job I have to tell kids like we don't really call it an anime when referring to like Tom and Jerry or Thomas the Tank Engine or whatever. What we're calling it like a cartoon or an animation.
Yeah.
But when we say anime, we mean specifically Japanese animation. So that's the difference they have to get to grips with. But if you want to have the rule where we're basing it on the Japanese meaning of anime, then I would say yeah, why not? Everything goes.
Very nice. So we've discussed some amazing ideas here tonight, but on that note, I do think it's time that before we give away all of our secret ideas, we should probably end things off.
Exactly.
I want to thank everyone for joining us for this podcast. Thank you all for joining me into this podcast, and thank you everyone for watching. Does anyone have any final closing thoughts before we end things?
Don't eat the yellow snow.
That's fair.
Just
Yep.
that I think Square to Charge is in a much better place, and we're really a community, and it's good to see a lot of the new faces coming in and already having great ideas of things they want to do and
Yeah.
see. And yeah,
Mm.
it's nice that it's not just us core peeps anymore, like it is expanding and growing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
I gotta
newcomers, keep
say,
an eye out for the Jackbox Gauntlet, which is going to have quite a few newcomers from what I've heard.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, thinking about like Square in charge of a YouTube channel, it's really come a long way, definitely. And I
Mm.
think this year's been great, and it's just been a pleasure, working with so many great people and having some fun and some laughs. It's all anybody could really ask for when it comes to like making video content and uh, especially with all these ideas that we have. We have like enough ideas to go for the next 10 years. So when that is all, that's really a nice thought to have in the back of your head.
Seasons.
And
See you all in 10 years.
it'll
10
be lovely
seasons
to
and a movie.
see what ideas happen in 2024.
Yeah.
Just before I, because I've got a couple of things I want to note. Antonio, do you want to note anything before I do? Just
No,
'cause I've got-
no, go ahead.
Just a couple of things, just for me, just to prattle off, just very quickly, because I know we want to wrap this up. Firstly, I've mentioned this to Rodri. We've probably mentioned this before on a video somewhere, but here it is again. Just to quickly surmise Quickelodeon, I think it's been the tournament that, and I think most people will agree. We discussed this before, Roger. We said that despite 99 essentially being the first tournament and it's the beginning of what the channel was, that this is like the true sort of like genesis of the channel. Like this is like what we aim to be moving forward.
Yeah.
So to everybody who got that familiarity with Quickelodeon was like, oh, we like the way that things are done here. Well, that should be the way that things are done here moving forward. Not to knock 99, but it was that sort of bridge between what came before, what is now. It's that sort of like nice little halfway bit. There were teething issues, there were bits that needed to be worked out, and they were here. And then, of course, the other thing I wanted to mention was I didn't get to mention this earlier, but because I don't know why, but yeah, we talked about the memorable bits, and I forgot to mention this was just being able to actually be part of Quickelodeon, because as you said, I was quite busy and didn't appear until that commentary bit, as you guys pointed out earlier on, doing the race for Midnight and Marcus. So then I joked about, hey, what if we did an exhibition race, and then both Rodri and Joseph, you were both, yeah, okay, do it, hop in, do that game, you pick out an opponent, this game that I was like, well, if I don't do it here, I don't see any time that's probably going to ever be played again. Nobody else is going to play it but me. So, and as it turned out, only me and Janny seemingly had played it. And so, yeah, I just want to say, again, thank you for letting me hop in there, to actually be part of Quickelodeon, despite, not being able to be part of the mainline thing. Essentially, I can turn around and go, hey, I was sort of in Quickelodeon, so just, again, thank you.
You were in round
No
one
worries.
qualified.
No worries. It was really nice having you there, Kiwi, especially as well. We were able to come up with a great nickname for you as well.
Kiwi.
Like everybody. Kiwi.
Oh, that's the best
Hi,
one.
Kiwi.
I loved it.
Nice.
The
They're
nicknames are
great.
fantastic. Yeah.
Anything quick to
Yeah.
add, Al?
I feel like I kind of summarized it like earlier. Like I just the the way that obviously there weren't as many competitors was what made the tournament, I think, all the better. I think that probably something to keep in mind as well for future tournaments is that less is very often more, and even if you do, which is doubtlessly going to happen as you obviously have more and more people come in, more subscribers, you'll have more of a selection to choose from. But like from my own past experience, having been in a lot of tournaments, I know that more is not always good. More can be very bad. I'd just say,
Disney Dash.
always
Sorry.
keep it. Well, yes,
What a bad cough.
and certain IS tournaments which may or may not have had 40 or 50 people in them, and then about 10 or so of them just never doing any races and dropping and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, always just keep that in mind. Less can very much be more, and that would be it really. And yeah, can't wait for I guess a Honey Pop Lego League or whatever. So
I'll just combine those two things together.
I mean, I definitely want to do a
Lego
honey pop race.
anyone?
Yeah, the Honey Pop. Yeah, well,
yeah.
I'm surprised that they haven't ever done a Lego Tetris.
I mean, yeah.
Oh
That's
man,
actually a fascinating point. Yeah.
Rexy, do you
that
have
would
any
make
final
sense,
points?
right?
Yeah, you could just like build, and like the one of the main challenges could be you have to build a specific shape.
Mm.
thank you, Rexy.
And yeah, Rexy, do you have any final points to make?
I think Al ended up bringing it home right there. Less is
you.
definitely more. And this is something I especially noticed in the Coliseum servers. I have to say this right here because I've got Wumper and KSC both together. And it just feels like it's always a comfy time when you're around people you know. So let's keep this momentum going forward for 2024. Come on, let's keep bringing the hype.
Woohoo!
Hype, let's go.
Yeah,
Lego races. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Lego Racers.
I wet myself at Lego
Sorry,
races.
I've just spotted the poster in the background of Rexy's shot that, and I love that Gorillas poster. That is fantastic. I'm sorry. That's why I was craning my neck over here. Like, is that Gorillas?
Yes, that
I'm
is the
like, holy
Gorillas.
shit, Gorillas. I love that.
I've had that for nearly 20 years, Kiwi.
Wow, that's
And
fantastic.
you only just
wet
noticed.
myself.
I love how the chicken
you
just
know what
appeared
I've
over everyone's
seen?
face.
Rexy's living room or a bedroom, wherever she is, for the past 20 years.
It is a bedroom, but it is what it is.
bedroom.
On that note, though,
I just gotta love as well. I just gotta know. I love to see how Pikachu is poking his head out in Kiwi's background.
Oh yeah, that's a Pikachu money box that an ex-girlfriend's
I thought you
mother
were
got me
looking at
when
the
she was in
crash.
Thailand.
so
I thought Lord Pikachu turned into a ceramic object.
You were saying Dante?
Alchemy.
I was going to
A
say,
sort of
on that
weird
note, we need
alchemy.
to end the video off. So
Yes, we do.
say it with me.
Yeah.
This has been
A
disaster.
Disaster!